Oh yeah, that's right.
I think I'm the only board out there that's not operating every station.
Realize moving revolution society, as they say, in skies over a socket.
All right. I need to get the bathroom out of the way first this time.
I'm just
I'm
trying.
glad you're doing it there instead of here this time.
Yeah.
More Gatorade bottle. Cars, as far as whether the society and our infrastructure is ready for it. Are we going to have dedicated sky lanes for these cars? Or are they flying over the cities? You know what I mean? These are the things that I'm concerned about.
Have to be dedicated skylines. You know, there are going to have to be different, streets where these cars can land. Because I watched the video. You know, the takeoff and landing seemed very smooth. They seem to fly very, tight to the ground. Not like I said, they're not up there like airplanes. They are just, maybe like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet in the air. So they're not airplanes. They're more cars that have hover tech, technology in them, like almost like the VTOL kind of vehicles, or even like in Florida, how they have the little hovercrafts that go over the water. Take them up a few feet. Just take them up a few feet. So this is going to be good for society. We need this. I've been waiting for this since the Jetsons.
I have too. I just don't have any faith in society. I think about the worst case scenario when it comes to technology. I think about junk flyers. I think about fools who want to do fast and furious drag races.
I gotta check other counties. I mean, I know San Luis Obispo County is not as locked downy as LA County is. I hope not, but I don't want to drive up there and then find out we can't get any.
Maybe it's because I don't necessarily like flying.
Get any? Thanksgiving good. So as you guys see, I'm back on YouTube because I have to do a thing where I uninstall the update, then reinstall the factory version of YouTube. So I've got no idea why YouTube took the live streaming off the mobile app. I don't know.
It's like a vertiport. They're building one in Orlando, and that's supposed to be completed in 2025.
Sorry, there be no street racing on a night where the Raiders are playing.
1,000 square foot transportation hub. And
That's
it's like
funny.
an airport.
Usually the
But it's gonna be
drag racing type and the Raider fans. Similar vein, different crew.
What?
Those guys spend all of their time and money on their cars.
Yeah.
The Raider fans spend their time and money on balls
long enough to see the next
of various shapes and sizes.
in transportation. This might be it, and technology is usually incremental in nature, but we've had an airplane for the past, 100 years or so. And the car has been around.
Meanwhile, in Britain, they're having a lockdown, but they haven't closed the bars. They're going to allow bars are going to stay open one more hour starting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I thought we'd all trace this to bars, but weird.
Virgin Galactic, and I'm not doing SpaceX. I am just fine here in this atmosphere on the ground. I'm not a skydiver. No.
The jetpack guys, this is right. I think that all this is kind of coming together at the same time.
That's true.
Like we may see just people landing on the roof.
I did not see a airport lockdown in China. Where?
This is the way of the future.
You know what's
I did
better
not
than
see that one.
jetpack idea? Working remotely.
I was looking
like
at
the
local shit
pandemic.
more
I
than-
would
Oh, I'm
jet into
talking to
work.
them.
You know, I got a computer right here. Why would I jet into
Would-
KFI?
I would have seen that, I think, somewhere.
Right here. Robin, my boss, might be listening. I know Neil, our APD, he's listening. I would say, Neil, there's no need for me to jet into the office. We got technology to take care of that. We don't need to teleport. We don't need to jet in. We don't need to drive in.
Pudong?
Come down just the jetpack stairs.
No. There's not a place called Pudong in China. Sorry.
That's funny.
No.
But
I don't need that stuff. I like convenience and I like simplicity. And it's more simple to stay behind in the house and not have to get on a jetpack.
China airport
And flying cars
lockdown.
and all that other stuff. That kind of takes the fun out of it.
Partial lockdown June 19th.
And what have you. be hosting for Gary and Shannon on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, this is the first time in 13 years I haven't hosted for filled in for John and Ken on Thanksgiving
Very special.
day after.
They got who? I know
I think like Neil
Neil and Dean Sharp.
Dean Sharp. I don't know why.
They're talking about like Christmas or Thanksgiving food and home.
Yeah, and I don't know why you don't on Thanksgiving Day. I think on Thanksgiving Day Neil has a pre-recorded thing or something. But you know, you play best stuff. There's no one, literally no one listening.
KOST HD2
Los Angeles, Orange County.
live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Closing time, I'm Kenny Max, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA County health officials are closing the door on in-person dining.
The modified order begins Wednesday at 10 p.m. and will prohibit indoor dining for 3 weeks. The 5-day average of COVID-19 cases is 4,097, and the county health officer had warned if cases exceeded a 5-day average of 4,000, stricter protocols would be implemented. The modified health order impacts restaurants, breweries, wineries, and bars. Those businesses will, however, be allowed to do takeout, delivery, and drive-through. If the 5-day average of cases hits 4,500 or more, or hospitalization for more than 2,000 per day, health officials say a stay-at-home order will be
You know it's a great movie?
KFI News.
The Eagle Has Landed.
Brought to you by Direct Buy.
The
LA police say the city
Michael Caine, Robert Duvall,
this year
Donald Sutherland World War II movie.
over a decade. The department is urging the public to alert
Yeah, Fauda is tremendous.
anonymously. The last homicide
Season 4 is amazing. And then after Fauda, go see watch Tehran
just hours left.
on Apple TV.
The deadline is today for LADWP customers to get help keeping the lights on. The assistance is open to residential customers with an online account who make 50% or less of the area median income. The program, designed to help pay power, water, gas, cell phone, and cable and internet bills, is expected to serve up to 100,000 households. It comes in the form of a
I don't even know. Did the Chargers won, didn't they? Yeah, they did.
response to use $50 million in COVID relief money to pay for it. Residents can apply for the grant at ladwp.com/utilitycares. Amy King, KFI News.
Joe Biden's first cabinet picks will be announced Tuesday, and planning is underway for a pandemic-modified inauguration in January as his team moves forward despite roadblocks from the Trump administration. Announced picks are rumored to include Biden's Secretary of State and Treasury Secretary. The Trump campaign's legal team is moving to distance itself from a firebrand conservative attorney, Sidney Powell. The effort comes after Powell made multiple incorrect statements about the voting process, alleged unsupported and complex conspiracy theories. But President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says Powell isn't part of the Trump's legal team and is, quote, practicing law on her own. A famous floral tournament in LA County will celebrate the new year in a new way.
The Tournament of Roses parade in Pasadena will now be celebrated on TV only because of the pandemic. The reimagined New Year celebration will feature pre-recorded marching band performances, segments about past parades, celebrity guest appearances, and now, if you want, you. People can submit a short video of themselves with a homemade poster that says what they wish or hope for in the new year. All home videos will form a montage with a musical performance to create a collective wish for the new year. Videos must be submitted by December 3rd at tournamentofroses.com. Rob Newton, KFI News.
We have a detached trailer on the 5 causing all sorts of problems right now.
Yeah, this is in East LA on the 5 southbound right at Indiana. It's taking up the 3 right lanes there. Your drive is starting to stack up right around 60. Mid-City, this is on the 10 eastbound at National.
And you've got the Open standing by.
Lanes as you approach this area. Ontario, we have a work zone. This is on the 60 eastbound, Euclid to 15. 2 right lanes going to be shut down until 5 in the morning. You are seeing delays throughout that area. KFI, the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Van.
Well, look at the forecast coming up.
Do you believe
Before we get
in
started.
miracles?
Anthony and Gigi most certainly do.
Are you playing anything before the Open?
Yeah, I'll play a couple drops, and then the last one is, hey, this is library.
Says our tech Josh.
Hey, this is library.
Smell good. He worked for 14 hours to get us back up and running.
Okay, but what about that miracle?
The repair took place in a tight crawl space, which required Josh to work on his belly and play contortionist much of the time, says Anthony. He completed the job while remaining upbeat and answering our every question. That alone town is a miracle.
Unsurprisingly, this isn't Anthony and Gigi's first experience.
I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Professional, quick to respond, reasonably priced.
And every tech is extremely friendly.
In other words, Mike Diamond Plumbing has been nothing short of miraculous.
I'm Mike Diamond, and I guarantee my plumbers will show up on time and smell good, or your house call is free.
Schedule your service at MikeDiamond.com or call 1-800-446-MIKE.
Contractor license number 399170.
Southland weather from KFI. Tonight, clear in the evening, then areas of low clouds and fog. Lows around 50 tonight. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs in the 60s. Tonight, partly cloudy in the evening, then mostly clear. Lows getting down to around 50. It's 55 in Santa Monica, 58 in Encino, 56 in El Segundo, and 60 in Van Nuys. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Danny Max.
I'm gonna go finish the meats right now then.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it! Hey, this is library.
Okay, that one.
Super Hyper Local Sunday with Brian Suits.
But we start with breaking news from Hollywood. People stabbed and shot.
I am telling each and every one of you right now, this is the last new ownership press conference I will ever attend.
We're coming to a stop out here. The door is open. This guy is getting out of the vehicle. What? Oh, he's got a gun.
No,
He's got
no,
a gun.
no, 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 no.
This is not going to end very well.
That's why I'm voting for Eric Garcetti. Super Hyper Local Sunday with Brian Suits on KFI.
COVID-19! I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Yeah, well, someone put cases on all us bitches today around 4 p.m. That'd be the LA County Department of Public Health, headed by one doctor, not an MD, Barbara Ferrer. And you're back on the lockdown starting Wednesday at 10 p.m. Just like on last night, here we were at 10 p.m. We did the countdown. We started calling police. We started reporting all of you. We had people out on the 134 overpasses writing down license plates. There was a lot of you out there. I know that I personally ran a curfew patrol from the 134 up the 170 up the 14, and I just saw I saw a lot of bitches with a lot of cases.
I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
So you get another chance tonight, okay? But then all the party ends. The partying ends on Wednesday at 10 p.m. And they said he will go for 3 weeks. And wild stab, by the way. This current rise across, this is what's weird right now. It's not regional, like the summer was regional and spring was regional. This all seems to coincide with a large observance on the final day of October. Now, 22 days ago. I don't know what that could be. And we're now 6 days, if we don't count today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're 4 days away from another large national observance. And I'm just going to make a bold prediction here that enough people are going to ignore Thanksgiving's directives that we have outdoor Thanksgivings with no more than 3 families, not lasting more than 2 hours on that. I think there's going to be mass ignoring of that, and we are going to be with family. I'm not, because I don't have family down here, and the family that I do have that's within driving range is not the family I'm going to go hang out with. And so, just a wild stab that there's going to be another spike in 3 weeks, when in the middle of public authorities saying, okay, well, this is a 3-week lockdown, they're going to see another increase. And so we're going to start seeing our deaths increasing. Hospitalizations are increasing. These are still nothing like April and May, though. Remember when Navy ships, the Mercy and Hope, had to come to LA and New York, and then, as it turns out, not one. Well, I guess the one at San Pedro did get a couple people or something, but it was not. It was a great safety valve. It turns out we didn't need it. I haven't heard anyone talking about now if this is this great surge that they're talking about. then we're not hearing about it here in LA County. Tell you where you are hearing about it though is smaller states. Like the governor of Nevada is in full Twitter thread mode this afternoon, talking about the fact that the healthcare in all of Nevada is going to be overwhelmed, and so if you're in a car accident or whatever, your quality of care is going to go way down because the fatigue amongst hospital staff is way up, and because Vegas now has to shut everything back down. I guess they did. I guess you could call it a really soft open because for a couple months you could go to Vegas, and then I have it on firsthand authority that it just, besides the plexiglass between slot machines or at blackjack tables, there was really not much of a difference. People walking around without masks and stuff like that. But the governor of Nevada was talking about the fact that it's a one-dimensional economy. Here in California, if we're back to if you're an essential worker, which oddly enough is everyone in government, and or people in the very. I know we're essential. I read you verbatim my essential card last night. So we're playing the numbers and the whole thing, and we're hearing about the cases. And again, not me, not making there were some a-holes coming at me on Twitter who are all George Takai, Mr. Sulu leg humpers. CDC says that a case is anyone who swabs positive, for instance, with the RNA in their nose. I'm pointing out to you that I had it in February, and then I've been tested 3 times since and never developed symptoms after that. I had it in February, then have been tested. I'm responsible for 3 cases, but I never developed symptoms with those cases. Kind of like the time I got back from the Balkans and I tested positive for tuberculosis exposure. But I've been vaccinated. I never developed tuberculosis, but by public health law, I had to work at home for 2 weeks. That's just how serious we take TB. Unless, of course, they're providing value for your domestic servants, and they came up here from Guatemala. I'm on some different kind of visa. I'm unaware. But so anyway, we're dealing with that. I'll give you some numbers about the age of the people. This is why this Thursday concerns me, and I think because as we've known from all along, older people are inherently more vulnerable to this. Thanksgiving is a family holiday, and there's a lot of people who just feel like, well, we just can't leave grandma and grandpa alone or in the back room or whatever. And there are 3-generation family units are very common in Southern California because it is far more common in Hispanic households. So there's that. Because you look at the numbers here in California, when the Ministry of Health Diktat sent out their media release today, they always update the numbers, and Hispanic deaths from COVID in LA County are larger in proportion than their proportion of the population of LA County. Hispanic Californians are a plurality. I want to say like 46% of California are Hispanic. Whitey is 41 or 42%, something like that. But in LA County, that percentage is way higher. And so Hispanic deaths in LA County still, though, exceed their percentage in LA County. However, the age of the dead is far older than Black, Asian, and white. And so if there is a public service campaign to be aimed at LA County residents, that would be it. It would be start sequestering the old folks now. Keep the young folks out of the house until I don't know what you do. Just flat out say, don't have people over 65 at your Thanksgiving table or something. I don't know what they're doing now. Are they in the back bedroom? Did they get it and they're over it? Did they get it and not go to the hospital? There's a lot of that too. But shutting down restaurants, microbreweries, and bars is now being done, I want to say, for the 3rd time since March or April. and I still have yet to see the correlation between shutting them down and a decrease in COVID case. I'll play the game and say cases here in LA County, but shut them down seems to be the default step. You can still go to Vaughn's, and you still go to Costco, Ralph's, and all that, but you just can't go to a bar. My suggestion is, if bars are the problem, shut them down at 10 p.m. or shut them down, and then try to get reelected. There's that. Meanwhile, in Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is set to scrap the 10 p.m. curfew on pubs and restaurants when lockdown ends on December 2nd. It is understood opening hours will be extended until 11 p.m. in a major boost for the hard-hit hospitality industry. They've had, by the way, across Europe, they have had a very hard lockdown now for about 3 weeks, and the cases are still surging. But the hospitalizations are going up, but is the death rate spiking? Because that is the measurement that concerns me. And then people with these spurious, well, why don't you just look around the room and point to the two people you want to die or whatever. And if you're going to be spurious, I get to answer back, well, point to the teens that you're willing to allow to commit suicide, because there is a bump, not a spike. There's a bump in the normal suicide rate amongst teens. When you see it adjusted for age, that spreads it out. Well, that's not who commits suicide. People in their late teens to late 20s are who commit suicide. Males overwhelmingly, and so point to them. Which one of them? So it's a bigger picture, and I think we're big enough adults that we all get to have the holistic discussion about this. But anyway, I'll give you some more local stuff when we come back. As I say, this restaurants, breweries, wineries, and bars shutting down 10 p.m. on Wednesday only for drive-through, takeout, and delivery services. So we'll adjust. And by the way, who here thinks people under 25 are going to take this seriously? Anyone? Let me run it by the. Are you guys gonna? Well, there you go. They're not mine. They just follow me everywhere I go. Back in a second. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. I failed to mention that. This is your chance to catch up on absolutely everything that happened in the Southland, south of Santa Barbara, so you can win your Monday. For who? I don't know, because no one's going anywhere. That and more coming back right after this. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Danny Max for the news.
Today is the deadline for low-income residents in the county to apply online for utility assistance through DWP. COVID-19 cases have surged to the highest level in California since the pandemic first broke out. And starting Wednesday nights, restaurants...
You mean Plump Jack? You mean Gavin's?
...dining as part of a modified health order due to the rise in COVID cases. We got trouble on the 5 coming up next.
Contractor license 1047-781.
2020 is about to be over, and I want you to walk proudly to a brand new year with a brand new Gettle air conditioner. You know me, I'm Ken Goodrich. R22 Freon was that evil, old-style Freon that's now illegal to manufacture or import into the United States. R22 and 2020 are both about to be in our rearview mirrors, so I'm ready to celebrate, aren't you? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $220 for your old air conditioner when you trade it in on a new state-of-the-art Gettle 5-star system. $220, 2020. Say goodbye to 2020 with a brand new 5-star Gettle air conditioner and $220 in your pocket. Am I happy that 2020 is over? You bet I am. And I want you to be happy too. So let's get rid of that old unit, put something fresh and new in its place. Gettle. $220 is not hard to spell.
Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then partly cloudy with highs in the 60s. We have a detached trailer on the...
Yeah, it's funny. Foreclosures are up. Evictions, it's illegal in California to evict somebody. But just wait till the landlords can't afford to pay for the houses they're renting you. Then what happens?
Has the 3 right lanes shut down there. Your drive is no speeds as you approach this area. And in Montana, this is on the 15 northbound from Sierra Avenue to Glen Helen Parkway. Only the left lane is going to be available until 4 a.m. Watch for delays throughout that area. This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. KFI and the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Vance.
Right now, there are young people across the country facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading a tweet out loud.
At unbound.org.
No, what did Matt Leinart say? What's his Twitter feed? Let me look. Matt
Hi, Sarah. It's me, Brian.
Leinart.
Calling on this line.
I forgot the other number, but I can always remember this one.
What's up?
Do you know what I like best about 2020?
What you like best about 2020?
Yeah, can you guess?
Brian, you can draw a happy face on anything.
2020 has taught us to make room in our lives for what matters most.
Which is,
People. We're making more room for people. Less room for junk.
I'm certainly doing that.
How so?
When I watched our truck team haul away a bunch of my junk last week, I've never felt more free. It was like I had room to stretch out again.
Less junk, more happiness.
Less junk. More happiness.
Thank you, 2020, for reminding us what matters most.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Matt Leinart. LA just closed all dining, indoor, outdoor for 3 weeks. Can't wait to move out of this awful place. Ridiculous. There you go, USC. He's right, though.
Make the most of waiting for my next big vacation.
Translate your questions into goals by investing with Merrill Lynch Self-Directed. It's more accessible than you think, with helpful planning tools plus free online stock and ETF trades, so you can keep practicing your pronunciation. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilllynch.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer member SIPC. Other fees may apply. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed or may lose value.
And Leinart is from here. He's wasn't he a Matter Day guy?
Carolers, that's the holiday spirit. Speaking of which, SimpliSafe Home Security is having a huge holiday sale. Right now, you can get 40% off a new system and a free camera at simplisafe.com/holiday. That's 40% off the system U.S. News named the best of 2020. SimpliSafe protects your whole home 24/7 with monitoring by professionals. The sale ends soon, so go to simplisafe.com/holiday for 40% off and a free camera today.
The holidays are right around the corner. If you or someone you know needs help, the SoCal Honda dealers want to hear your story. Submit a video or voice message to KFIAM640.com, and the helpful Honda guys and gals in blue may help bring you some holiday cheer.
You asked, how do I save money on my home loan? IntelliLoan.
How much time?
That's at a 2.25% fixed rate.
2.5.
Oh.
That's just 2.25% with no fees or closing costs. Call 800-918-6200. That's 800-918-6200. Or visit IntelliLoan.com.
I'm going all Christmas music.
Borrow smart. Rate subject to change without notice. Certain restrictions.
Also, you know what sucks? My daughter and I like going up to Solvang for Christmas. And they have a nightly Christmas market for like 3 weeks. It's awesome. But they are not doing it this year.
Scott, nice birdhouses. Bluehost can help.
Plant-based meal, so you can spend more time enjoying
God damn no. The two absolute out of my life songs are Grandma Got
Visit Sprouts
Run Over by a Reindeer and Jingle Bell Rock.
enter the promo code BARREL10 at online checkout.
Sprouts.
The worst.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Have you heard the news? Starting January 1st, menthol nicotine products, including vapor, will be banned from retail stores in California. Good news is, you can still get your favorite fused menthol vapor.
Oh, there was a protest in front of Garcetti's mayoral mansion tonight.
Charge beyond. Underage sale prohibited. Website restricted. Age 21 and over.
I haven't heard anything about it. It was from 5 to 6.
24-year-old Mitrice Richardson disappeared without a trace in the woods near Malibu, California, and was never
never sing them live again. I'm Catherine Townsend, host of the podcast
By the way, most of the true crime podcasts, you can just Google, find out the punchline, and just save yourself 5 hours. And then listen to Dark Secret Place on ConnectPel.com.
We know you listen to KFI, but when it's that time of year, you can hear your favorite Christmas music right now on the official holiday music station, Coast 103.5.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
All your favorite holiday songs. Coast 103.5, your home for the holidays.
It's the Coast 103.5.
Suffering from KFI FOMO, the fear of missing out on more stimulating talk? Get KFI on your phone, your smart speaker, your computer, your TV, probably even some refrigerators. There's a million ways to listen, but only one KFI.
KFI AM 640. Yes, starting the Yule music early. You know why? Because I can. Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian Suits here until 10. By the way, we're monitoring apparently an ongoing situation, according to LAPD scanners, courtesy of PDR Scanner on Twitter. There's a large Sunday night takeover of intersections, and last we heard they were at Lincoln and Manchester, about 50 cars, and they move around because, well, they're cars, and you know the deal. We hold these truths to be, you know the deal. It's basically you take over the intersection and then just do a bunch of drifting, and LAPD's tactic is to pen them all in all at once. Well, for every measure, there's a countermeasure. And the street racers, evidently unaware that there's a Raiders game on, and they have 28 seconds to score 4 points. They think it's more important to burn rubber all over Los Angeles, and that their tactic is to monitor the scanners and watch for Honky McGill in his helicopter, or when one time pulls up in the cruisers or the Explorers, and then they go to a prearranged other intersection, and there's too many of the LAPD can isolate onesies and twosies, but that takes 4 cars, but meanwhile 49 cars take off for Hollywood and Highland, which was just a couple weeks ago. I think it was Saturday or Sunday night, maybe it was Halloween, I forgot, but anyway, that's a frequent target, and so anyway. So we're monitoring that. We don't know where they're going now. I'll give you an update here in a little bit, and but I'll tell you what, they may not be in a good mood. They may not be in a good mood because the Kansas City Chiefs just intercepted David Carr's erstwhile attempt at catching up and beating the Chiefs here in the last couple seconds. So it's a sure thing. Raider loss there in Las Vegas, and so this crowd of miscreants and scofflaws taking over intersections will not be happy. So we'll get to that. So the LA County Health had told us last week, hey, if the 5-day average of cases is 4,000 or more, which is, and again, my complaint is the amount of testing increases. It should be a proportion. It should be a percentage of positives, but they're giving us a hard number. Remember, they could barely do 4,000 tests back in March, but anyway, now they can do nearly 1 million a day. Not LA County, but across the country. So anyway, if the 5-day average of cases is 4,000 or more, and 1,750 per day, then they would restrict in-person dining. Former USC great and NFL okay, Matt Leinart tweeted how ridiculous this is and that he's going to move out of this god-awful place. That's what he said on Twitter about 3 hours ago when this was announced. There are 1,401 people with COVID-19 currently hospitalized. 26% of these people are in the ICU. Over the past 7 days, the number of hospitalized patients has increased by nearly 35%. But we're still not close to maxing out the hospital bed capacity. They are in smaller places where they also observe Halloween 3 weeks ago, and they're in a bad way. The one thing that I would say, one great argument for actually staying at home and not going anywhere this year, not even road tripping like I'm going to do, is that this in your lifetime, besides the afternoon of September 11th, 2001 in Manhattan, this is the worst time to go to a hospital and expect to get world-class care or even third world-class care, because the resources are geared towards clearing out the ER, triaging who has the Rona, and who has a piece of rebar sticking out of their femoral artery, whatever. And so this is not exactly the time to go in there with a twisted ankle. So an accident-free Thanksgiving would definitely be the way to go on that one. But I'll say this: I checked county by county where my daughter and I are going for Thanksgiving. Minimal. There's a rise in cases, but it's numerically it's not overwhelming the hospitals, and they're barely having one death a month, and they do have delicious cracked crab, which thousands have been served every month. There's an epidemic of deliciousness where we're going for Thanksgiving. So anyway, enjoy your LA County. All right, back in a second. This was a very murdery weekend. The commander of the Hollenbeck division of one time of the LAPD, commenting on Twitter about this, that we have noted it here on Super Hyper Local Sunday. We're getting the 187s, as they say, the homicides a lot more lately. What might cause that, we don't know. Super Hyper Local Sunday, Brian Suits back in a second. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app on KFIM 640. Danny Max with the news.
Los Angeles County officials have announced new coronavirus-related restrictions that will prohibit in-person dining for at least 3 weeks as cases rise through the holiday season. This includes both indoor and outdoor dining. The new rules will take effect Wednesday at 10 p.m. Restaurants, breweries, wineries, and bars will only be able to offer takeout, drive-through, and delivery service. This report is brought to you by DirectBuyers.com. Johns Hopkins University Dr. Tom Inglesby says the nation is at a dangerous point in the latest coronavirus surge.
The epidemic now is surging in almost every state in the country, with the Midwest and the Mountain West really being out, really in front in terms of rapidly accelerating numbers of cases.
Inglesby said hospitals have never been under as much pressure as they are now. Inglesby says Americans should not travel for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so LAPD says since midnight this morning, 11/22/2020, 7 additional people have been shot. So we can't find the updates on that. So there's an uptick, and you know what? A big part of it is that the release criteria for CalDoc to kick guys down to county or just release them directly now, because of the COVID, they're releasing everybody. It's supposed to be that if your last conviction, whatever set you back, your parole violation, if it was non-violent, then you get released because of Prop 47 or Prop 57, when they were releasing non-violent offenders. Not anymore. So these guys are back out on the streets. After having a 30-year overall crime decline and specifically firearm homicide decline, now we're letting these guys out. And guess what's happening? The crime rate's going up. I'm sure it'll get better, though, with George Gascon as the new DA. Don't worry, he'll clear things right on up.
The nights are nice and cool. Great for getting into a warm bed. Did you know
By the way, what do we all think about Sicario 2, Day of the Soldado? I didn't like it originally. I think it is a worthy sequel to Sicario, which is one of my favorite movies recently. And I'm wearing the same sweater. Benicio del Toro stole my look. In Sicario 2, he wears the sweater for, but yeah, the Sicario is the one with the border, with the crossing point shooting. Great sequence. Great. The Sicario bringing the suspect back to the U.S. entire sequence is terrific. No, it's not Andy McNabb. No, Andy McNabb is not really around Hollywood anymore. He's back in Britain. He's been supplanted 20 years ago by more recent special operations guys.
Hey, it's Jennifer Jones-Lee, and I know that in a post-COVID-19 world, safely returning to work comes with
2 minutes.
Yep.
law wants you to know that your employer must know and follow all the rules and safety measures required by law. Visit obajilaw.com to learn more about the current rules and regulations. That's obajilaw.com. O-B-A-G-I law.com. Obaji Law, champions for employees.
People with chronic pain will tell you, the hardest part isn't the pain itself. It's the way the pain steals your joy. For years, my husband lived with pain because we couldn't afford health insurance. Now, not only do we have insurance, I have him back too. Covered California is the only place to get financial help, and no one is turned away for a pre-existing condition. Enroll now at coveredca.com. Covered California, this way to health insurance.
I'm Waiting for the End of the World by Elvis Costello ready.
Our parents, they were really supportive in all 5 of us.
Part-time service.
And I'll be waiting for the end of the world. Yeah, we're going up to the Central Coast, and I actually called and confirmed Friday. I'll do it again tomorrow, and just make sure that our plan to take out a Thanksgiving dinner will still be available. Because then we're doing Thursday in Ojai. But we want to have a hot beach picnic in Morro Bay on Wednesday.
Your $10 donation provides 14 meals. And starting December 1st, all your fave KFI hosts will be live streaming throughout the week to bring in as much pasta and sauce as humanly possible. Donate now at pastathon.com. KFI AM 640.
KFI. AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. And quick note, if you're downloading the Dark Secret Place podcast, the third hour, we're kind of spinning into its own, sort of podcast history thing. It's uploaded in 2 parts, so 8 to 10 and then 10 to 11. So if you're only getting the third hour, well, who died and made you, Jesus, huh? And so just either we'll just not do it like that anymore, or you'll figure it out. Whatever's easiest for us here at KFI. So it is the Hollenbeck commander, the commanding officer of the Hollenbeck area LAPD, Rick Stabile, who tweeted this out 14 hours ago. City of Los Angeles in the last 24 hours. Murder. 4 people were shot to death. One victim was a 15-year-old boy riding his bike. Last week, a mom and her unborn 7-month-old were killed. Shot. 5 other people were shot and survived. Then he goes on, a proactive police department is critical to protect the community. Currently, there is a movement or effort to stop LAPD officers from conducting traffic stops and pretext stops. Just in case you were unaware, This is one of the ways we arrest armed gang members driving throughout the city. His update from earlier this morning, since midnight today, since 12:01 a.m. this Sunday, 7 additional people have been shot. And as I say, I can't honestly tell you that I track it during the week because the shootings and murder in Los Angeles peak in the weekends. And in our anecdotal perusal of the homicide blotter in Los Angeles County in Southern California, it is undeniable that, and I don't know if where LAPD used to do a homicide. I mean, LA Times used to do a homicide blog. It's I don't know if it's still on there. I couldn't find it, but there is clearly there has been for months an uptick, and then you've heard here on KFI that Los Angeles is on pace to have the highest homicide rate in 10 years. We're at 300 now, and it looks like it will obviously increase through the holidays and through December, and all that. And the non-scientific survey I did amongst people, men and women behind the badge, is that Prop 47 was bad enough. Prop 57, more of same, letting violent people out on silly pretexts because the last thing they went to prison for was nonviolent because they shoplifted or whatever, and then decriminalizing theft of under $900 or $950. It lets out and then it keeps out people that normally in California would have gone to state prison at least. And we've enjoyed a 30-year decrease in violent crime, property crime, and homicide crime because of it. Well, now we're shooting ourselves in the foot because not only are we Prop 47ing and AB 109ing and Prop 57ing these guys out, but now because of the COVIDs, instead of putting them in tents, splitting up the cells, whatever you want to do, the easiest thing is, well, let them out. And this is who is on. These are who are on the streets right now. Pregnant woman with unborn 7-month-old last week. Last night, 15-year-old boy. A 15-year-old boy was shot to death by a person who fired from a vehicle in Watts. The boy was riding his bicycle at 8:20 p.m. last night in the 1700 block of East Imperial. Officer D. Orris of the LAPD's Operations Center said someone inside a vehicle fired shots at the boy, then fled the scene. Paramedics rushed the boy to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. Guess what? No suspect information was available. The boy's name was not released, pending notification of relatives. And I'll tell you this time last year, that would have been shocking. Maybe we've gotten used to this. Maybe people have forgotten the late 80s or the early 90s. Maybe so. As we speak, by the way, this was a blast from the past. My first address when I moved to LA was 6300 North Lancashire. Not a nice neighborhood at the time. And NoHo has gentrified quite a bit, but it doesn't extend all the way up to Victory. And this is where the next cross street was Victory, Lancashire and Victory. And that we're standing by to wait to see what happened, but apparently we have maybe an eighth, or maybe the fifth murder in LA, or eighth or ninth shooting from a tobacco liquor store at 6400 Lancashire, right across from the apartments I used to live in. Oh, that's not it. So yeah, there were 2 Rhodes Scholars from LA, so it's not all bad news. So there's that. But LAPD are still in the scene of a crime scene in North Hollywood where shots fired. We don't know a lot more. Don't be confused. This wasn't the 3 people found dead in North Hollywood, 2 women and a man. No sign of violence, but police suspect drug-related which usually is a code word for the fact that they were finding syringes or whatever there. So there's a suspected triple drug overdose here in LA. That by the way, I don't know that ever went away. There's cycles of bad meth and bad heroin and all that. It's the violence, and then the hit and runs. The hit and runs have actually decreased, we've noticed, but the holidays are coming up, and December Late December, early January is usually peak hit and run, but we're rivaling it now with our old friend, the handgun homicide, which has not arrived in 30 years. We haven't seen it like this. Not the kind of butterflies that you want to celebrate returning to California. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, some of the other violent outbreaks in the Southland, and a kind of a surprise bankruptcy. I got to tell you, during the time of COVID, this is not the place I thought would go out of business, but I'll tell you about the one that's going out of business that maybe might surprise you as well. Back right after this, super hyperlocal Sunday. Brian Suits in here until 10 p.m. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Danny Max with the news.
LA has just hit its 300,000 this year, first in over a decade. About 400 people gathered in Huntington Beach last night.
Then am I cue?
And President Trump has told the G20 summit panel that Americans should be first in line to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay.
We got a crash we're tracking in commerce on the 5 coming up next.
Contractor license 1047-781.
2020 is about to be over, and I want you to walk proudly into a brand new year with a brand new Gettle air conditioner. You know me, I'm Ken Goodrich. R22 Freon was that evil, old-style Freon that's now illegal to manufacture or import into the United States. R22 and 2020 are both about to be in our rearview mirrors, so I'm ready to celebrate. Aren't you? So here's what I'm going to do.
We have a new board up engineer. Seems like a good enough guy. But they're all good enough guys. That's how you get the job, because you're good enough.
Am I happy that 2020 is over? You bet I am. And I want you to be happy too. So let's get rid of that old unit and put something fresh and new in its place. Gettle, GOE-TTL. $2,020 is not hard to spell.
Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then partly cloudy with highs in the 60s. We have a crash in commerce on the 5.
This is on the 5 southbound at Garfield. It's taking up the left lane there. Your drive is stop and go from just before Washington. Vasquez Rocks. This is on the 14 southbound at Escondido Canyon Road. We have a little fender bender. That's in the right lane there. Your drive is bunching up as you approach Rubidoux. This is on the 60 westbound at Rubidoux Boulevard. We have a crash in. Emergency crews has only the carpool lane available right now. Your drive is stacking up from before Market Street. This report is sponsored by Compassion International. KFI, this guy helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Vance.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
You heard it once. You heard it twice. You'll hear it from your mom. You'll hear it from your friend. Wear a mask wherever you go, where you play, or you shop. This important task will help save lives. You do your part, and I'll do mine. Together. So,
Shanghai Airport plunged into chaos after a worker tested positive for COVID-19, prompting hazmat-clad staff to herd thousands of people into a basement for testing before they make a bid for freedom.
No, not mine. Dana's.
Dana?
She's in Anaheim. I'm reading her testimonial on MikeDiamond.com.
That's pretty funny. I might have some good Chinese audio here.
Personally smelled them, but I'd say Dana got a good whiff. She wrote, Mike Diamond came to my rescue within an hour of me calling. Not only did they assist me, but my dad too in the same week. Very professional.
Jingle big during our Bigger Than Big Black Friday sale. This week, select recliners just $199.
Should I do Christmas in Hollis, Queens?
Big lines. You don't have enough love in your heart.
Oh, wow, and I get to say Pudong.
From hotspots to hidden gems, you never know what could happen
2 minutes.
The world is full of the stuff they don't want you to know. Each episode dives deep into the world's strangest topics, from hidden history to the bleeding edges of science and beyond. Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Semper Solaris is now offering rebates for Tesla Powerwall. Buy one, get a rebate up to $1,740. Buy two, get a rebate up to $3,480. And the 26% solar federal tax credit when you go solar. Call now, 877-211-5591 or visit SemperSolaris.com. Battery rebates amount based on size of system and varies by region. Awarded by SGIP after installation. Cannot be combined with any other offers. On approved credit. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. 26% federal tax credit based on eligibility. Consult your tax advisor. Solar federal tax credit reduced to 22% in 2021. Expires 11/30/2020. See SWRF 781.2.
Do you think all vitamin C's are the same? They're not. Ester C is a superior form of vitamin C. It's the only vitamin C with 24-hour immune support. And it lasts.
And we don't want grandma to miss the thing. We don't.
So don't just settle for anything.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. It's Christmas time in.
Cure or prevent any disease.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. All right, I'm cued.
Get 60% off sweaters, pajamas, and cold weather accessories for the family. Everything else is 50 to 70% off. Find it all at Gap Factory or gapfactory.com through November 22nd. Black Friday at Banana Republic Factory starts now. Don't miss out on our biggest sale of the year. Everything is 60% off, including your favorite sweaters, cozy coats, warm flannel, and more. Find your nearest store or shop online only at Banana Republic Factory.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
There is a tradition of a president writing a personal letter to the incoming president.
I think what you're going to see is a turd.
That's going to be left for Joe Biden.
Bill Handel. Mornings from 6 to 10.
Just a guess.
On KFI.
Ah, the unmistakable theme song from Die Hard, the original Die Hard, as it turns out. Hey, it's Super Hyper Local Sunday here on KFI M640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And someone on the YouTube, if you go to unsheepyourself.com, I'm streaming. We talked during the breaks. They said that Chinese airport was on lockdown, and when I said, well, what's the airport? I'll look up the story. And they said Pudong. And so obviously, having been in the fraternity, I know what I'm getting punked. There's no Pudong. But no, it's Shanghai. The main airport in Shanghai is Pudong International Airport. And I don't know, maybe in Mandarin, Burbank sounds like some fraternity nickname for a certain sex act. But anyway, here's what happened. An airport in China was plunged into chaos today after a worker tested positive for COVID-19, prompting officials to order airport-wide testing. They brought police in protective gear, in biohazard suits, and they herded, Tiananmen Square style, passengers and employees for mandatory testing. They shut the airport down, brought in police, didn't let anyone leave. Hazmat suit-clad staff were filmed herding a huge crowd into a basement area. That sounds like Soylent Green. Into a basement area, or Sweet and Sour Soylent, General Tso's Soylent. I don't know. Into a basement area inside Shanghai Pudong International Airport. And America's fraternity brothers all high-fived when they flew in there. But amid fears of mandatory 14-day quarantine, the group staged a mass bid for freedom. They busted for the doors. They were filmed pushing officials aside, the officials wearing plastic face shields, linked arms, kept them in line. I mean, they bum rushed Chinese authorities. And of course it's on video. And what's really interesting is a nearly identical thing happened in Cologne, Germany today, where someone got through screening, tested positive. They have some on-demand test, and they shut the airport down. And the Germans reacted a little bit differently. But here's the video from Pudong International Airport in Shanghai. This is when they are apparently as human mass pushing past the authorities who are trying to make a human chain. But here's the sound. Sounds like Black Friday, right? But no, these, and you can see in these people's eyes, they want out. They're desperate to get the hell out. And I've connected in Addis Ababa with people who headed to Xi'an and Guangdong and Shanghai. They have elbows, and they will use them when they want in or out of an airport or a line. They will use them. And these people, they don't look like they're afraid of authorities. They look like they want to be the first to the cab, to the Uber. But they're not going to no stinking basement and doing no stinking COVID testing. Meanwhile, again, so this is Pudong. Now, identical news. The airport is shut down. No one's leaving until mandatory testing to Cologne, to a crowd of Germans in Cologne, Germany. Oh, sure, they're all calm till someone mentions living room. So anyway, that's I haven't heard about travel restrictions here. By the way, the TSA said last week, hey, just don't travel over Thanksgiving. And then they had the biggest 2 days of the year so far, Friday and Saturday. But then again, you don't drop news on that, overnight. You're going to eat the charge and the whole thing. I don't know what's going to happen this Thursday. But, traditionally, what is it? Is it Memorial Day is the biggest road trip day in America, or is it Thanksgiving? I want to say Thanksgiving. So that'll be interesting to see. Because, when the gas prices are high, that's always a metric. AAA announces that car traffic is way down because of Pudong. But we'll see if people are, I sense that in Southern California, you're probably nearer your family than most people around the country. But I don't know. I have no idea. Just no clue. I know that I'm not going to see family, but I am road tripping. But it's none of your damn business. Well, here's the story, and this kind of surprised me. Guitar Center, the largest U.S. retailer of instruments and equipment for musicians, filed for bankruptcy after the COVID-19 pandemic kept customers at home, and job losses made them less able to afford new gear. And that kind of confused me because I, as an audio professional in the radio industry, I give Guitar Center first dibs. If they have it in stock, I buy it because I usually realize I need it today. If they don't, I'm on Amazon before I get to my car. Audio professional Tony Sorrentino. And I know I heard his name. He sounds like a spiffing chap. What's his name again? You're a Guitar Center guy, right? I mean, you're a home sound engineer, broadcasting specialist. Yeah. Every time during this here pandemic that I've gone into Guitar Center for Sony MDR V6 headphones that professionals wear, or a different digital recorder or whatever, they're always out. And I had assumed, oh wow, people are doing podcasts at home or whatever. They're just, the problem was they couldn't restock. And I guarantee on the way out to the car, people do what I do and go on Amazon. Oh, wait, what's his name again? Zach, do you go to Guitar Center? That's what it is. It's you damn millennials. But that's who was in there when I go in there. That's who's in there, the damn millennials. And so everything I want is always gone. And the people, the ones I go to the one in Santa Clarita, and they say, well, a lot of people are sitting at home, setting up home studios and all that. So I figured, well, this must be a good year for Guitar Center. No, negatory. They're not going out of business. They want you all to be clear about that. It's just that they're going bankrupt. They're having to reorganize and the whole thing, laying off a lot of people. And so turnaround will be complicated by the fact that the company's stores were shut in mid-March due to the coronavirus outbreak. It's reopened certain locations while maintaining online operations. Then we must be lucky here in LA because it's also the epicenter of the recording industry. But all the ones I know that are open, you know, you got to mask up and all that, but they never have anything in stock. So maybe it's a nationwide thing. I do not know. Let's go live back to Pudong and see the reaction. Yeah, not happy. Not happy, the Pudong. Take a break. When we come back, we will check the box and give you some scores of the tackle football that was played around the country at the various levels, professional and collegiate, and other things like that. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. And a violence update because it's breaking out by the minute here in LA these days. Hour number 2, Super Hyper Local Sunday in a minute. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Happy socially distanced Thanksgiving 2020.
Hey, it's Jennifer Jones-Lee. I didn't decorate as much. Normally, it looks like Thanksgiving grows up in my house.
That's my living room.
Fuck. Yeah, man, my hollow bodies. That's
Well, I just got the green one. I just got it like last week.
That's like $30,000 for the guitar.
No,
right?
not at all.
Oh.
The most expensive one there is my Les Paul Jr., and that's $600.
Is that a beginner banjo?
No, that is a banjolin.
Oh.
So it's actually a mandolin with a banjo body.
I'm showing everyone on YouTube in case they want to steal your shit.
Well, there's not many. Look, I've had a lot of these guitars since I was at high school. So
I had the only guitar I ever owned was the National Steel Body.
I've been having my eye on the Honey Dipper.
It was from 1961. It was rusty, and this old farmer who was a benefactor of our fraternity, he said, "I'm moving. My daughter's moving me into an old folks' home, so you boys can come through the house and just make an offer, whatever you want." And all I knew was that was the guitar on that Dire Straits album, on Love Over Gold.
Yeah, it's also National. It's like they were
Yeah,
the first.
and I said, $10. He goes, "Oh, it's not even in tune. Just take it." And I had it for years, and it was one of those things where I'm going to learn how to play that.
I'm that's my next guitar I want to buy is a resonator.
It was beautiful.
I need one. I need one so bad. You just do an open tuning on one of those, and it just plays.
Yeah, open tuning. It was a chick magnet, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, no.
I couldn't play a fucking lick of it, but that's not why we were there.
Anymore?
What?
You don't have it anymore?
No.
Oh, it's a shame.
My brother plays, so I gave it to him.
Oh, nice.
It's better than spending money on him.
But that is the next guitar I'm going to buy for that wall is going to be a resonator.
Oh, really? And they still make them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like original specs?
Nationals are stupid expensive.
I bet.
But I was going to buy one from Gretsch called the Honey Dipper. So it's called. It's pretty much the same as the National with the biscuit resonator. And
cool. My daughter wants to learn.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's all on YouTube, too.
Oh, yeah, these days, yeah.
It's crazy.
Lots of like teaching classes and stuff, but the best way to play guitar is play with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I just brought 1150 back from the dead, so that's good.
The what?
I just brought 1150 back from the dead.
Oh.
Did Tony tell you about the bitch stuff?
No.
No? He's antsy about playing anything with the word bitch in it, so he's dumping out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he dumped the full set. What did he dump out of it?
The bit. He just hit the dump button on it.
Oh. Well, then I'll...
It was like, I'll give him one, and then the second one.
All right, well, tell him I'll
If you can-
put silence in there.
If you can beep it.
I'll have the buh.
Yeah. No, he errs on the side of caution every time.
Yeah.
On all you bitches.
Yeah, that's not one of the words for maybe I mean, even Shannon said it.
I've heard it played on every station, but he's like, I've never let it slip on my shit, so I'm not gonna argue with him. He's the board up.
Okay, I will put silence. So it goes like this. So I dropped bitches out. I put silence in there. Here, I'll play it for you in queue.
I'm putting cases on all you.
2020 is about to be over. Play anything before the open?
Yeah, I'm gonna play this guy saying, "Lick my fucking ball bag, you cocksucking motherfucker." And it's art, man. Don't dump it. It's it's for artistic purposes.
It's a medical condition. It's okay.
Yeah, it's in context.
Exactly.
To be in our rear view mirrors. So I'm ready to celebrate, aren't you? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you $220 for your old air conditioner when you trade it in on a new state-of-the-art Kettle 5-star system. $220. 2020. Say goodbye to 2020 with a brand new 5-star Kettle air conditioner and $220 in your pocket. And when 2020 is over, you bet I am. And I want you to be happy too. So let's get rid of that old.
I don't really have a drop where the guy says, "Lick my ball bag, you motherfucking cocksucker."
$220 is not hard to spell.
Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs in the 60s. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy in the evening. Lows around 50. Tuesday, warmer and sunny.
Yeah, it's the same deal. It'll end with, "Hey, this is library."
70s inland. It's 57 in Anaheim, 58 Fullerton, 57 in Redondo Beach, and 56 in Seal Beach. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Danny Max.
Ride it. They say ride it like a cowboy. Just ride it. Ride that sucker right through.
What a sausage fest.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. Hey, this is library.
Hey, this is library guys, the best. So you got to witness a creative meeting. Tony doesn't want to play bitches, so I edited bitches out.
No, 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 no.
That's why I'm voting for Eric Garcetti.
Super hyper local Sunday with Brian Suits on KFI.
I'm putting cases on all you.
KFI AM 640 is hour number 2, Super Hyper Local Sunday. Live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And let's see, some viral stuff you should catch. You know, obviously we're hyper local, and it is Sunday. But you're nobody if you haven't seen a couple of things. Producer Sam told me the story last night about an old guy in Florida who went into a pond to wrestle an alligator for his dog back. But the breed of dog was lacking in your story. And the scale of the alligator. So I saw the video today. I tweeted that out. And you have seen the video now? That dude, that's a man. Okay, it's a 3.5 foot infant gator, but it's still all muscle. It's an alligator, and their teeth when they're that young evidently are like little razors on those bastards. And the dog was it's some sub-breed of a cocker spaniel or something. Yeah, it was a cute little dog that this retired old guy and his cute wife, they're retired in Florida. And they live next to what's called shared space, or what I call the earth. And he was walking the dog. He was letting the dog run around. And this young alligator, he said, darted out like a missile, grabbed the dog and pulled it back into the pond. And in the video starts with him going in the pond and pulling the alligator up by the head. And the alligator has the tip of its mouth around the puppy's belly. And then the report I saw from South Florida, they said, we've edited the puppy's plaintive cries out because they're disturbing. If you've ever accidentally stepped on a puppy's tail, it's the same thing. I mean, the puppy's yelling, what the hell is this? I thought you were nice old people. I thought it was nothing but Lil Smokies and sausages. What? I know. Oh my God! The alligator is the pet. I'm the food. It's not. It's a cookbook. That's what the puppy's saying, and the guy goes in the water. He's wearing old Florida man shorts and like a polo shirt, and he's up to his chest, and he's wrestling this alligator, and he brings it to the edge of the grass, edge of the pond, and he has to get his hands in there and pry that sumbitch open. And the puppy releases and goes running off, and then the guy throws the thing back in there. And he was very sanguine about it. He said, "Well, that alligator's just doing what they do, it's living its life and all thing." The guy never dropped his cigar. That's the thing that killed me.
An important.
The hell? That was the. Wait, am I doing something? Did something come up? Is that me? Okay, I'll turn that. Yeah. He's like the saltiest old SOB you've ever seen, and in the middle of possibly seeing his puppy, disappear underwater, and come up in bits of fur in the next couple days, he never drops his cigar. It cracked me up. And then, if you're all wondering, well, how was it shot on video? Well, there's a bunch of different wildlife federations, whatever, in Florida, and they set up wildlife cameras, which are motion detected HD I've got a couple. I have my Porch Pirate camera. It's got IR, black and white, in HD, and then it's got daytime HD. And 9 times out of 10, I get my lazy post person on their phone as they do a U-turn and go. But I've got a couple of those. They're motion detected, so this thing was rolling as the guy walked by. It got the entire attack. They're not showing anything except him in the water wrestling with the gator and the whole thing. But I guarantee this guy's going to be on Good Morning America and everything tomorrow, because he's like, they're the nicest old couple, And then they're not like, when I'm that age, I'm going to say, I'm going to be like Steve Zissou, and I'm going to be hunting down the jaguar shark or whatever it was that killed my friend. I can say, yes, I saved my puppy, but that alligator, it is as Moby Dick to me, and I will spend the rest of my days here at the villages hunting down this 4-foot alligator. But no, he was like, "Well, gator's got a gator. What are you gonna do?" And the whole thing. And the lady was nice too. But there's that video, and then do you punch it in the brain, or do you take this primeval $20 million or 20 million year piece of nature's engineering and just toss him back in the water to deal with another day? They said it had one little penetration in his belly. That's amazing. And it was hooking it like a fish hook. And you know that like 99% of alligators' muscles are for closing. And that's why they can, once they're shut, that's why guys who wrestle alligators tape the mouths and they can't pop them back open. So anyway, it's an amazing video. This is a fearless old guy. Okay, now I am seeing the video on Channel 4 of the protest in front of Garcetti's house. The same organization, I think it's SaveCalifornia.org, the ones that sponsored this protest at Huntington Beach last night at 10:01, 1 minute after the curfew. They went to Garcetti's house tonight. They went to Getty House between 5 and 6. And, of course, looted, broke windows, spray painted, no. They walked up and down the sidewalk and they obeyed all private property laws and the whole thing. But, it's signs that say COVID is a con job and all that stuff. But they were outside Garcetti's house. He probably wasn't there. So, anyway. Let's see you're wondering if you're essential. Obviously it goes without question that those of us in the radio and television industry in Southern California, as well as cosmetic surgeons, have to be able to report to work, or else people might have to change their appointments. But what about entertainment industry workers? In light of an unprecedented rapid rise in COVID-19 cases across California, Governor Gavin, thanks Gavin, on Thursday announced a limited stay-at-home order. The order requires basically every county in Southern California and 94% of the state's population. But Newsom's office told Deadline Hollywood on Thursday that the order did not apply to entertainment industry workers who are on the list of essential workers, and thus an exception to the rule. And I don't know if that means craft services or specifically, the actual staff shooting a TV show or movie or YouTube series or whatever. In accordance with this order, the state public health officer has designated the following list of essential critical infrastructure. Now, pay attention. All right, everyone, get a pen. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this list. Only the first 11 people who can call in. Essential critical infrastructure workers are to help state, local, tribal, and industry partners as they work to protect communities. Well, what does that mean? On that list of exemptions under industrial, commercial, residential, and sheltering facilities and services, there was essential worker designation 15, EWD 15, which reads, quote, workers supporting the entertainment industries, studios, and other related establishments, provided they follow COVID-19 public health guidance around physical distancing. So if you are under EWD 15, supporting the entertainment industries, and you know what this boils down to? Call your boss or talk to the person that hired your trailer, your roach coach, to feed the cast or the extras or whatever. I got the feeling. One gets the feeling that the entertainment industry has Gavin's ear, and they're saying, let us deal with this. And so that initial shutdown of a lot of productions, they came back. No, obviously they're not shooting in character with masks on, unless they're shooting something about COVID-19. But anyway, we'll have more. We'll update some of the violent outbursts that have broken out around the city and the county over the past 48 hours. A violent weekend here in Los Angeles. We'll check in with the authorities when we come back. It is Super Hyperlocal Sunday, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Danny Max with the news.
Today's the deadline for low-income residents in LA County to apply online for utility assistance through DWP. COVID-19 cases have surged to the highest level in California since the pandemic first broke out. Starting Wednesday night, restaurants in LA County will stop offering in-person dining as part of a modified health order due to the rising COVID cases. We have trouble and slowing on the 405 next.
Do you believe in miracles?
Anthony and Gigi most certainly do. So when their sewer line burst, there was no hesitation.
They faithfully called the small good plumbers at MikeDiamond.com.
Gigi says our tech Josh arrived on time and smelled good. He worked for 14 hours to get us back up and running.
Okay, but what about that miracle?
The repair took place in a tight crawl space.
Do you remember that the former chief of staff, the former effectively Minister of Defense of Mexico, that general who was arrested at LAX a couple of weeks ago, he's been completely released. So either he did a little bit of this, he did a little hablo to the federales, in which case I would ask to go into the witness protection program, or we didn't have anything on him and we let him go. But the president of Mexico, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, or AMLO, he called the Mexican military the mafia. So
This is on the 405 northbound from Avalon to just after Main Street. Caltrain's going to be taking away the right lane until 5 in the morning. Expect heavy delays throughout that area. Vasquez Rocks is on the 14 southbound at Escondido Canyon Road. Clean up crews from an earlier crash, taking up the right lane there. We're seeing delays throughout that area. And in Ontario, we have another work zone. It's on the 60 eastbound. You lose at 15. Two right lanes going to be shut down for
always another way. And now there's one for health insurance. Cover California is the only place to get assistance paying for health insurance. Last year, 9 out of 10 people got help. Enroll by December 15th at coveredca.com. Cover California, this way to health insurance.
Hey, it's Jennifer Jones Lee. Has the hostile workplace become so intolerable you've been forced to quit? Even though you decide to leave, you still can have a viable claim for wrongful termination. When working conditions are unbearable enough that any reasonable person would resign, the situation is treated as an employee dismissal. To find out if you have a case, visit obagilaw.com. Obagilaw.com. OBAGI Small firm attention, large firm results.
Javier's Auto Body is colliding with a shortage of licensed techs.
A 2017 is waiting on a clear coat, that 09 needs its left rear sanded, pounded, and painted, and the Gobbler is waiting on an estimate.
Another twist in there.
Deadly Cross is exciting, it's thrilling.
It's full of action.
Best thriller I've ever read, period.
Deadly Cross, top notch.
Get James Patterson's Deadly Cross on sale now.
This is the moment Richard Wilbanks wrestles an alligator to save his dog's life.
He just came out like a missile.
The sound of his puppy's cries are too upsetting, so we're not sharing it.
They're like children to us.
Wilbanks pried open the gator's mouth and saved his dog, Gunner.
He had one little puncture wound. My hands were just chewed up.
Even after being dragged underwater in the jaws of a gator, Gunner is doing just fine.
And I was able to save Gunner's life.
But how did this terrifying encounter get recorded? The answer, a partnership between the Florida Wildlife Federation and the F-Stop Foundation.
The video was jarring.
Meredith Budd is the regional policy director at the Florida Wildlife Federation. They typically capture videos of things like deer or bobcats.
I'll
not
play this on there.
And it's all part of a campaign.
He just came out like a missile.
We want a shared landscape. We don't just want to tolerate wildlife, but rather we want to thrive with wildlife on a shared landscape.
Their goal is to help people appreciate and understand the wildlife they live near, and by doing so, help reduce the conflicts that can sometimes happen between people and nature.
It gives us a new appreciation. We do need to be aware they are wild animals. They're not here for our benefit. We're very lucky to share the space with them.
Gunner's now a little hesitant getting near the water, but because Wilbanks calls this a learning experience, he's keeping Gunner away from the water now and always on a leash.
Keep your guard up. Enjoy, but don't get too close.
2 minutes.
James Patterson, just when you think you got it, he's got another twist in there.
Deadly Cross.
On sale now.
This is the moment Richard Wilbanks wrestles an alligator to save his dog's life.
He just came out like a missile. He just came out like a missile.
Starting January 1st, menthol nicotine products, including vapor, will be banned from retail stores in California. The good news is you can still get your favorite.
I'm going to go with Late Great Golden State by Dwight Yoakam.
But hurry, January 1st is right around the corner. Views, charge beyond.
Eureka. Yeah. Eureka.
We're going to try to find out what really happened to Mike Richardson. iHeartRadio's #1 for podcasts. But don't take our word.
Do you all did you all grow up with Hugh Hauser? I only know him after the fact. I know that he's a Southern California staple institution.
I found it.
KFI AM 640. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian sits here until 10, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We do have an update on the gyre, you could say, of I was called out for saying street racers, but these are intersection taker-overers. And then they do the drifting, and they do it on the GoPros and the streaming and that internet that the kids all love these days. So here's what happened. They were at National and Sawtell, just west of the 405. This always happens sort of in the LAX area. LAPD got on scene. They confirmed a huge gathering and takeover. Additional units were en route, including fur missiles. However, 6 minutes ago, the code 4 went out. Everyone dispersed, and the speculation is that they will head to Lincoln and Manchester again, like last Sunday. That's the informed speculation of PDR Scanner on the Twitter. But otherwise, we haven't heard anything from LAPD. It's interesting. Where I came from, they would call up the National Guard if people took over intersections willy-nilly and just did this from El Monte to Santa Monica. But here, LAPD kind of is aware that this is going to be for half an hour, then they're going to haul ass and maybe go to another place. And half the cops around here did that too, when they were 19 or 18 or 38 or whatever. Okay, so here's a story from Esotero Lake, Florida. This is CNN. I'll tweet this out. It opens up with the audio from the wildlife camera of this guy, Mr. Wilkinson, wrestling for the life of Gunner, his miniature Cocker Spaniel puppy. And by the way, not a big fan of little dogs. This is a cute dog. I'll say this. Anyway, here we go. Well, that's my bad. All right, now here we go. Like a missile. Can I just jump in here real quick and say, we're all adults here. The dog survived. I think we can handle the puppy's cries in the mouths of the beast. But anyway, thanks, CNN. Doesn't he sound like a badass Huell Hauser? Doesn't this guy sound like Huell Hauser's evil twin who would go in through your chest, pull your heart out and show it to you while it's still beating? This guy just sounds like the redneck Huell Hauser. That really sounds like Huell Hauser, that missile talk. But no, anyway, back to the report. Blah, 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 wildlife cameras, blah, blah, blah. Ah. And feed it, apparently. Oh, by the way, this is Mrs. Wilkinson, the mommy of the puppy, expressing her confusion of humans' relationship with alligators. Glad she got that cleared up. Yeah, again, now newly minted alligator expert, Mrs. Wilkinson. But let me tell you this: when Mr. Wilkinson came home, he said, "So there you go, Mr. Wilkinson there." on that. Again, they're not here for our benefit, and I rather think that alligators couldn't give less of a poo about their their newly evolved the monkeys that now walk upright and don't have tails anymore. I think they tolerate us. Anyway, so there you go. I'll tweet out that story. But again, at the beginning, the thing that cracks me up is the CNN guy. He's his VO, as we say, his voiceover. He's voicing over the sound of Mr. Wilkinson and a life and death, hand to mouth struggle with the alligator. You can barely hear it here, but you can hear him going, "Ah, roo, brr." Come on, let him wrestle the gator for let him have his moment. So there you go. That's the story. And like I say, in the video, I mean, and he's real. This thing is a giant muscle. It's a 50-pound, 4-foot long muscle. He never drops a cigar. It's very impressive. If he's, I could use a new granddad, and he would be a welcome addition. Back in a second. Remember the Mexican general? The guy was, in fact, the Minister of Defense in Mexico, the highest-ranking military man in Mexico. Remember, arrested in LAX a couple weeks ago. Well, there's an update, and it's not justice was served. And if you've asked yourself, should I let a moose lick my car? Canada has an answer. That and more coming up. Plus, sports ball scores. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Super Hyper Local Sunday. Danny Max with the news.
The 5-day average of COVID-19 cases is 4,097, and the health officer had warned if cases exceeded a 5-day average of 4,000, stricter protocols would be implemented. Officials say effective Wednesday at 10 p.m., restaurants, breweries, wineries, and bars must stop all indoor dining for the next 3 weeks. They will be allowed to do takeout, delivery, and drive-through. The health officer says if cases keep climbing, a stay-at-home order will be issued.
He shot out there like a missile. I'll play it again.
He just came out like a missile.
Like a missile. I have to get my sports ball highlight.
If it happens, only essential workers and people going to critical locations would be allowed to leave their homes. There would also be a nightly county-wide curfew placed on all residents between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Today's the deadline for low-income Los Angeles residents to apply for assistance with paying utility bills amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The city council voted earlier this month to use $50 million in COVID-19 to help struggling DWP customers.
So the Chargers spreading the field on 2nd and 8. This one on the slant, that is complete across the 40.
Adoption ceremony took place yesterday for nearly kids who had been in the foster care system.
So the Chargers spreading the field on 2nd and 8.
Carson on the 110.
This is on the...
And it'll be 1st and goal for the Chargers.
Lyman backs.
3rd and goal, quick pass to the end zone, touchdown, Hunter Henry.
Bottom of the foul, automatic, first down.
Timeout remaining. Herbert, time, throwing down the field, it is incomplete. And the late flag.
Well, Keenan Allen, he's in position. And then
Defense, number 23. The ball he placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down. Right shoulder, watch for delays as you approach. KFI of the Sky Helps.
Not the conventional highlight that you might expect.
And the late flag.
well, Keenan Allen, he's in position. And then
Defense, number 23. The ball he placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down. New year with a brand new Gettle air conditioner. You know me, I'm Ken Goodrich. R22 Freon was that evil old-style Freon that's now illegal to manufacture or import into the United States. Spot of the foul, automatic. We are both about to be in our rearview mirrors, so I'm ready to celebrate. Aren't you? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $220 for your old air conditioner when you trade it in on a new state-of-the-art Gettle 5-star system.
So the Chargers spreading the field on 2nd and 8.
Gettle air conditioner and $2,000.
And it'll be 1st and goal for the Chargers.
Lyman backs.
You bet I am. And I want you to be happy too. So let's get rid of
3rd and goal, quick pass to the end zone, touchdown.
Gettle, GOE-TTF. $220 is not hard to spell.
Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then 50. And then on Tuesday, warmer and sunnier, highs to the lower 60s at the beaches to lower 70s. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Danny Max.
I might break out the salmon for tomorrow night. The Rams, Buccaneers. Wait, Buccaneers are at SoFi, right? It's not Rams in Tampa.
Boneless, skinless chicken breasts are 99 cents a pound. Get our fresh, skinless Atlantic salmon fillets at $6.99 a pound. And all you lobster.
Charges were at SoFi tonight.
5-ounce lobster tails at $6.99 each.
And a little under 2 minutes.
What's that?
At Stater Brothers Markets.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean tomorrow night.
Who might understand when it seems that there's no hope? What can you rely on if you just want the pain to stop? Where do you start? Here. To talk or chat with real people who really get what you're going through, visit helpushereoc.com or call 877-910-WARM. It's free, it's confidential, it will help. Brought to you by the Orange County Healthcare Agency.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job.
It's Black Friday now, only at Target. This week, save on toys, video games, TVs, and more. This week only. It's Black Friday now at Target.
The game's in Florida.
Oh.
No matter your dietary preference.
Sprouts has plenty of unique products across the store to take the guesswork out of planning your gluten-free, organic, or plant-based meal so you can spend more time enjoying your Thanksgiving.
Plus, this weekend only Friday through Sunday, save $10 when you spend $75 or more on your healthy holiday groceries.
Visit sprouts.com to get your barcode and scan in-store or enter the promo code and online checkout.
Sprouts, where goodness grows.
Consign your luxury goods with The Real Real. Visit TheRealReal.com.
Let's get to know KFI's Employee of the Month.
Thanks, man.
Tony Sorrentino.
I do my best to be invisible. You know, that's kind of the sign of a good board up. I think a lot of it is just being completely average, just being the guy who showed up on time and didn't cost the station money. I've gotten by on, well, he shows up on time, I think, a lot. I mean, it's true.
Congratulations to Tony Sorrentino, KFI's November 2020 Employee of the Month. KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian Suits in here until 10. Can you believe this is the Killers that debuted just back in August. August seems like 2015. And I mean, it doesn't help that I've been beating the crap out of that song. But the point is, that's only 4 months ago. Did I mention that LA's favorite radio contest, hashtag Have You Seen a Free Couch, is in full effect? And you know what? I got a text from a KFI air personality who took a picture of a couch within throwing distance of this building. And I forgot to tell him to put it up on the Twitter. But anyway, he texted me that. And so so Conway with the first entry. He's no Dave Kunz so far. And in fact, I will put it up as for Tim Conway Jr., but it's a nasty couch. And I was a little surprised that not really up to Burbank quality. Not normally what we get. In the tackle football, the Chargers at SoFi hosting the hapless New York Jets. And at least Sam Darnold got a free trip home, right? So there's that. If I were him, wouldn't you ask to stay? I mean, he's not starting. They're not going to miss him. I don't even think they're playing next Sunday. But anyway, the Jets showed up. They checked the box. They played, and the Chargers won. Herbert looks good. Got a win. That's always good. Hasn't worked on the acne yet, but he sweats a lot. You know, I didn't see. I mean, here's a guy, who grew up in the Willamette Valley, grew up around Eugene. He goes to University of Oregon and thinks that's normal. Does his shopping around Eugene, thinking this is what the world looks like. Then he's at LA Charger, and so I'd like to interview him someday about that aspect of it. Anyway, some exciting play-by-play highlights from today's TV broadcast with Greg Gumbel. Wasn't that something? It was a trip set right, by the way, and I forgot what happened in that play. And another highlight, this late in the fourth quarter, edge of your seat, a nail biter. That was a great first down. Anyway, that happened. And tomorrow night, so I mean, it was fun to watch. It was good to see the Chargers win. Do you guys watch Red Zone, or do you watch the full game play out? I kind of miss the art of watching a full single game. Yeah. Did you see that Justin Burrow knee injury? The Bengals were at the Washington USC Trojans. What did I say, Justin? Yeah, Justin Herbert. But like that? Well, here's the deal. CBS didn't re-rack it. Red Zone is sort of waiting for CBS to do their work for them. And they said, all right, we'll show this on the replay. CBS didn't replay it because I think it was one of those injuries that it passed the gross factor. It was gross. The knee is not supposed to bend backwards like that. Yeah, but worse. When Dak picked it up, it stayed that angle, and he just was staring at it. You could only see it in slow motion, and it wasn't good. And then he tweeted later on, see you next season, and the whole thing. No prognosis about how the knee is going to do, but he was the franchise. I mean, that they rolled the dice. Heisman Trophy guy, first pick. He looked really good with a crappy team around him, a absolutely crappy team. Now he's out for the season, probably best, but a very, very ugly injury. And then I have not seen it replayed on any of our various local. Usually they'll hit that as a highlight from the game. Yeah, good. I get the icks. There's the Hall of Fame. Joe Theismann is a Hall of Fame. Napoleon Kaufman, when he was a Raider. McCallum, I'm sorry. Who's Napoleon Kaufman? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. That it was very nasty. The Bo Jackson the weird hip landing thing, that was weird. But McCallum's was ugly. This was like the McCallum injury. Yeah, just a very bad scene. Tomorrow night, the Rams are at Tampa Bay. And so this is a good game for Monday night. It might be salmon worthy. I might whip out the salmon. And it doesn't mean what you think it means. We might cook some salmon. I will watch this Monday night tackle football game tomorrow night. I have a good feeling about it. I already have a highlight. There you go. I predict that will be the highlight for tomorrow night. But actually, we got some good football. By the way, UCLA falls to the Oregon Ducks, even though there was a last-minute rally. They fall to the superior Oregon Ducks. And USC, they lost too, right? Oh, no, wait. No, they beat Utah. Yeah, it was happening right here in front of me. All I know is that Stanford and the Washington State Cougars postponed their game. And this happens on the day that they announced that the traditional Apple Cup between the Huskies and the Cougars not on. But so anyway, there's your all-encompassing football roundup. The Pac-12 is screwed. they're 6 weeks behind the Southern conferences and all that. So there's a point where if I'm a player, I'm going to actually rationally make the argument. 5 weeks in, can I opt out now? This season's worthless, and I don't want to get injured, never play again. But I don't know. And also, they're not making alumni money. They're not filling the Rose Bowl or the Coliseum. So I'm a little confused by that. Well, the competition is fast and fierce. Let me tell you. Hashtag have you seen a free couch? You can post there. I'll get the Conway couch up there, but he's not eligible because he's an employee of iHeartRadio, and in fact, an essential employee. But honorable mention for the ugly Conway couch. Also because he might have set a new super spreader criteria. If the KFI building is in the photo, that's as good as 2 dogs on the couch. That's the new rule. If you can somehow get a KFI logo, billboard, or Steve Gregory in the background, that is worth 2 dogs. So we'll put that rule to the test here in just a minute. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Daddy Max with the news. What do you look forward to?
Oh yeah, dude.
That
McCallum.
I can't end. It's on here. I can't end the stream. I can end the stream. Tell you what. I got to end the stream because I have to access Conway's picture. So sorry about that, but the show demands it.